After covering arithmetic functions, let's move on to string functions. Let's copy all the code, put into a new window. Don't need that. Get rid of that. You select all from this table. So that's what we got in our table. First column is the role of the staff, the forename, surname, how much they're getting paid, and the staff ID. If we want to know the total number of characters in a string, we can do so. Let's copy that. And if we want to use, let's say, surname, and we want to know how many characters are there, in surname, give an alias, character count, and if we run this now, so it tells us how many characters are there. Messi has 5, Ronaldo has 7, Salah has 5, Afridi 6, Holder 6, and so on. Similarly, if it is required to find out surname that is 10 characters long, we do so with the help of a string function called LEN, and we have to use a where clause. So if we copy this code again, paste it here. So we already know how many characters are there in the surname, so we have to use where clause. So where, copy this part, the length of surname is equal to, so equal to 10 characters. As we can see, there are some names with 10 characters long. So when we use where clause and run it again, so it is showing there are 2 names, Williamson and Washington, with 10 characters long surname. Right, by any chance, if you need to display all the characters of a string in capital letters, you can do so with the help of a function called upper. So just copy that part again, paste it here, and then instead of len, we are going to use the function called upper. Okay, and then call it capital letters, capital letters. Okay, run that. So as you can see, that's the normal way of writing, and the capital letter one shows all the characters in capital letters. Similarly, we can display the small letters using the lower function. So copy one more time, paste it here, and use the function lower. So call it small letters, execute that, and as you can see, the first letter is supposed to be capital, but all the letters are in small letters. So that's how we can do it. There is a possibility that you need to display forename and surname together. We can achieve that with the help of a function called CONCAT. So copy that code, paste it here. So let's bring forename to the query, forename, put a comma there, and now we're going to use CONCAT, C-O-N-C-A-T, CONCAT. So copy the forename, comma, surname, and then both the names are together. But then probably we have to, if we give a little bit of space in between, we need another comma there, and then that's one way of doing it. We can call it full name 1, and then if we copy that again, paste it here, give a full name type 2, and then here we are going to give a comma there, and let's see what happens. Run it, and full name 1, as you can see, it has joined both the names together. So as you can see, Cristiano Ronaldo, there is no space in between. Full name type 2, there is a comma in between the first name, Mohamed Salah. Right, okay, so what we can do is copy and paste it there. And here we use a space instead of a comma. And then if we run that, you can see there's this space in between forename and the surname, Shaheen Afridi. So that's how we can do it. We can use a CONCAT function to join two columns type string. Right, that's how we can do it. In case you only need the first 3 characters from a string. Okay, so first 3 characters, just copy that, and we're going to paste in here. Let's get rid of 2 of these, and we are going to keep just forename, get rid of this name from there, and then we are going to use a function called left, L-E-F-T, left. So it needs 2 arguments. We need to put how many characters we said? 3. So we are going to write 3 characters, and for alias, call it 3 characters from left. So look at that. Forename, surname, and 3 characters of the forename. So first one is Leo, CHR, MOH, and SHA, and so on. Okay. What if you need any number of characters from the right side, not from the left side? So we can do so. Instead of left, we can use right, and then same 3 characters. Instead, let's undo that, leave it as it is, copy that, and paste it here, and we are going to use right on this one, but instead of forename, take 3 right characters from surname. So that's we can do 3 characters right, RIGHT. If we run that now, so first 3 characters from this forename Leo, and last 3 characters from the surname SSI and LDO, LH, and so on. Quite a fun thing to do, isn't it? Right. This can be useful in certain situations, like if we want a short name from a month. So, okay, let's copy. Not really. Okay, let's try, because we don't have a month name in our table. We can just try it with any string. Jan-U, January. So that's our string. We can call a month, and if we are looking for just the 3 characters for month of January, we will do that, Jan, and inside the bracket we just copy and put the string in there, Control C and Control V, and then we are saying 3 characters from left side, and we can say this alias as short name, short month name, right? Not really short, is it? Okay, run this. So month is January, but the short name is Jan, 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 right? 3 characters from this string. If you are facing data quality problems and want to get rid of unwanted leading spaces from a string, how you can do that? Okay, right. Let's type any string. Select in here. Okay, so we put like 1 2 3 4 5 spaces. Then we start typing January. January is the coldest month of the year. Okay, so that's our statement. No correct spelling. Okay, right. So how we can get rid of all these spaces? If I just simply run that statement, as you can see, there are some spaces before January. Okay, so how to get rid of that is we use a function called ltrim. L mean left, LTRIM, left trim, and then in the bracket, if we put this string in there and can call it, this is fixed. So the data quality problem is fixed. So if we run that now, as you can see, our statement has some spaces before the month of Jan, but in the fixed, in the second column, there are no spaces. So this is how we can get rid of additional spaces if by error someone has entered any spaces into your data. Right. Right. Okay. So there is another way to test how many spaces are there, or if it really worked. We can use like LEN function to count the number of characters in the string. So let's do that. We copy that, paste it here, and what we're going to do is we are going to first of all comma, that's length of the characters. So if we put this one in here, and then we can call it characters. So this is how many characters are there. So this is our fixed. Next one was ltrim, and what if we just copy the ltrim part, Control C, and paste here, and if we do the len function including our ltrim and see how many characters after we fixed it. So as fixed characters. Okay, right. So if we just simply run this now, as you can see on the screen, there are 5 extra characters of the first string. So there were 45 characters in this one, where there was a data quality issue. By error, someone put 5 spaces before they could start typing, and when we fixed it, there are only 40 characters. So this is how we can fix if there are any spaces before the string. Right. There might be a possibility when the the space is not right in the beginning. They might be at the end. So similarly, we can get rid of trailing spaces from a string. So how we can do that? Okay, so let's copy that and paste it here. Get rid of the spaces before the string, and instead we are going to put some spaces right at the end, trailing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces, and we get rid of that. Put the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so on this occasion we are going to use a right trim instead of left trim because the spaces are on the right side. If we run that, so I mean, like, these are not really visible how many spaces are there, but there are some spaces in here as oh no, that's okay. There are some spaces in there but no spaces in here. How we can double check that? To do it, we have to use a function, and that function is, if we just copy that, put a comma in there, so it's called data length, D-A-T-A-L-E-N-G-T-H, data length, and we pasted there our string, and again we can call it number of characters there, and one more time, data length, and then if we put our right trim in there, okay, and we call it same again, fixed, right. If we just run this, what's happening? Yeah, so there are 45 characters in our first string, and there are 40 characters in our second string. So there are 5 spaces or number of characters less after we used our right trim function. Right, what if the spaces exist before and after the string? How are we going to deal with that? So there are 2 ways. Either we can nest our length, left trim and right trim, and we can do it, or we could use another function. Let's copy this one, copy, paste it here, and then give 5 spaces here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and give 5 spaces there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and similarly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right, okay, so we have 10 extra spaces on this occasion. If we just run the top part, we know in the previous statement there were 45 characters, but now there are 50 characters because there are 5 additional spaces right in the beginning and 5 spaces at the end. So they are leading and trailing additional number of characters, which are, we know, spaces. Okay, so instead of right trim, we are only going to use the function called trim. So get rid of R and this R as well. Now if we run that, right, so first string brought back 50 characters, but the second string brought back 40 characters. So all the leading and trailing 10 spaces disappeared, and it only showing the actual number of characters which are required. So that's how you can get rid of leading, trailing, or leading and trailing both at the same time, all those spaces. Trim is also used to get rid of unwanted characters from a string, which can be very useful if you're working in data quality. Okay, so just type, select, and then we need to type a string. To save the time, I've already typed some characters here. So if we just need to use the function trim. If we run this, so as you can see, anything other than trim has been taken care of. Okay, what if you want to only get rid of leading characters? So you can do so. Type it again, and you need to provide the list of characters which you want to get rid of before the string, and we are going to just copy some of these characters, for example these ones, and then we are going to put before the word string there. And then if we run there now, as you can see, they've been taken care of. And if we copy that again, paste it here, use the word leading, and then if we run that, so all the leading characters has been deleted and all the trailing characters are still there. If we copy that one more time, paste it here, and instead of leading we call it trailing. If we run this code, and all, as you can see, all the trailing characters has been taken care of. If we run these together, so you can spot the difference. When we use the word leading, all the leading characters were deleted, but trailing characters were still there. Don't think we need that. We'll get rid of that and run these together. So in the first one, it's only string, and afterwards there are some spaces, as you can see. But when we use leading, then it got rid of all the leading characters and brought back trailing characters. But when we use the word trailing, it got rid of all the trailing characters, but get rid of trailing characters and brought back leading characters. Okay, let's do one more time. Copy this code and paste it here. And now we are going to get rid of leading and trailing both the characters. So in that case, we have to use the word both. And if we run this code, and then it got rid of both leading and trailing characters both. Right. To fix the data quality error, we can use another useful string function. Let's try it. Select, and then our string is called, let's put name, and then any question marks, we'll give an alias. This is incorrect, and now we're going to use a replace function. So what a replace function does, it replaces any number of characters we want with the new characters which we want them to replace with. So we just put our string there, and we are saying in the second argument we want to get rid of these 3 question marks, and we are going to get rid of these question marks with what? With nothing. I mean, we can put anything in there, SDF anything, or we can just leave it blank, and we can call this, give an alias, and call it corrected. If we run this code, as you can see, in the first column there are 3 question marks, but the second column has only the actual string called name in it, and there's nothing else. But just for an example, if we put it here, and instead of question marks, if we say put S, make it names, so we can also do that. If you can see that, so that was not capital in there, so at least we can see it. Run it again. So first column name with 3 question marks, second corrected only name, and third we replaced 3 question marks with a character called S, and then it made names. There will be cases when the characters in the string are not in the right order, or you need to reverse the order of characters in a string. So we can do that. Right, okay. So we are going to start using our table again. Let's pick this table and scroll it down, paste it here, and staff ID was the first column, second was foname, foname, then it was surname. Right, and if we simply run that, so that's how it looks like. What if we have to reverse the reverse the characters? We can do so. First of all, we are going to reverse the foname, paste this there, and then copy again, paste, and put the second column surname. Right, if we execute that, as you can see, foname been reversed, all the characters are in reverse order. Surname reversed, all the names in reverse order. So it might be useful for some people if they have to use in one of their data sets. Let's create a pseudocode from the data we have in our table. A pseudocode are used in certain situations where it is not possible to display a person's data for the sake of confidentiality. Okay, so how we can do that? Just copy it, paste it here, and if you remember, we've learned about CONCAT before, so we are going to CONCAT what? Copy this, paste it here, then we're going to give a space, and then maybe forget the space, just like that, and then we are going to put the reverse surname here. Okay, then that, and or in fact we just run this first, okay, and see how it looks like. So both the foname and surname in reverse order next to each other. Okay, so what if we put comma there, and in here we are going to bring our staff ID, copy and paste. Right, we need one more time, that one. Okay, so if we just run this code, so now as you can see it looks more messier. Okay, we put a bit of space in between there and there, and now if we run that, as you can see the foname in reverse order, then there is a space and the code of the staff or the staff ID, and then there's another space, and then surname in reverse order. So this can be called a pseudocode. These are quite important in certain situations where the person's confidentiality is paramount, and you don't want to display the person's name or their surname or the number or whatever the column is. You can create a pseudocode, and then that's how you can transfer data from one place to another. Okay, Another useful function to look at for us today is certain characters from a string. If we have to do that, what we can do is just copy that code, paste it here, and instead of reverse, that function is called SUBSTRING. SUBSTRING. Let's replace this one with SUBSTRING. SUBSTRING, right? Okay, and right, so we need to provide some argument. Okay, so the format is we are giving the string, then we are going to tell where we want to start our substring from, because it doesn't know like where do you want to start it from, the first character, right in the middle, or from the end. So we are saying start from the first characters and only bring back 2 characters. Okay, and similarly in here we're saying start from second characters and bring back 3 characters in total. Okay, so give an alias, both of them. First one will be first characters and 2 characters in total. This one is starting from second characters and 3 characters in total. Okay, so if we run that, as you can see, there are 2 characters from the forename and 3 characters from surname, but the surname starts from the second characters. So rather than starting from M, it's starting from E, ESS, ONA, ALA, and so on. But for the first one, started from the first character LICHMO, and so on. So that's can be very useful in certain situations, this function called SUBSTRING. Right, that's our string functions covered. Thanks for watching. In our next video we will learn date and time functions.